What is up, guys? My name is BobaTalks and welcome back to a brand new Gotham Season 4 video. Now, I didn't think I would be doing another Gotham video today, but there's been a little bit of stuff that I thought I could make a theory video out of. Now, I don't think this is going to be a super long video, but normally when I think that, they sometimes do pan out to be, but I guess you already know because it's uploaded and you can see it right below me on the timestamps. But if you're wondering what this video is about, well, I guess you've already seen it from the thumbnail, but it looks like Cameron Bicondova has actually kind of semi-spoiled something for us from her Instagram story. Because on her Instagram story, she was running around set, or, you know, where actors can go to have lunch in their little rooms, or I don't know, and she ran into the room where Robin Lord Taylor was having his lunch, or just a snack or something, and guess what Mr. Penguin was dressed in.
Robin.
So we could bring Rand, so
He was in Arkham inmate clothing. Now this gives away what is most likely going to happen. Well, it is definitely going to happen before episode 11 in the mid-season finale of this season. So to give this video a bit more context for those of you who might not have been up to date totally with all the Jerome stuff, a few days ago, a picture got leaked of Jerome walking in between sets in his Arkham clothing, and obviously Jerome uploaded that picture himself, not Jerome, sorry, Cameron Monaghan, I keep doing that, on his own Instagram of the Jerome seat, you know, your actors' seats where you can have your name on it, and it looked and appeared to be in Arkham. Some people think it might be in the Fight Club in the Narrows, but who knows? It makes sense to me initially, for now, for it to be Arkham, because he was also seen sporting the Arkham clothing. And now that we know that Penguin is in Arkham clothing, and the biggest thing of all, a couple of months ago, or a month ago even, maybe actually further along from that, we learned that when Jerome would be coming back this season, he would be getting closer or working with, or slightly building an alliance with the Penguin. Now, I'm sure with all these pieces of the puzzle I've been talking about in the video, you've put it together yourself. It looks like they both meet in Arkham Asylum. Now, how does Penguin get into Arkham Asylum? I'm not entirely sure, but I've got a couple of ideas. The synopsis for episode 10 or 11, or both of them, do not state that he goes to Arkham. Sometimes the synopsis can be fairly spoilery, but sometimes they tend to not include little details like this in, or I guess you would say big details. But to be honest, they're probably not filming the mid-season finale now. They might actually be on the episode after that. I'm not entirely sure. They could be filming the mid-season finale. But either way, I think perhaps the mid-season finale is going to end with Penguin going into Arkham. We might be seeing the process of him getting admitted, and then I can imagine, you know, open the gates to like an area where you can interact with quite a few inmates, and one of them there is Jerome, and that's when it might roll credits. I can really imagine that. So episode 11 is called A Dark Knight, Queen Takes Night. Now, I'm not sure if that title is kind of like a chess reference in terms of how Sophia is now, you know, the reason she's in Gotham was to defeat Penguin and take the city back from Penguin. So Queen Takes Night to me kind of indicates that, you know, she might have, you know, she's kind of screwed him over. She's won the battle, and that could very well be how Penguin ends up in Arkham. I don't know how they're going to manage that, but I'm going to read out the synopsis for this episode anyway, just so we can discuss that part of it. Things get complicated for Gordon, Sophia, and Penguin when Carmine Falcone comes to town. Alfred tries to get through to Bruce once and for all, while Nigma struggles to gain control over the Riddler persona, and Tabitha attempts to make Grundy remember his past. Meanwhile, a familiar smile resurfaces in Gotham. So what can we take out of that synopsis? Well, definitely right at the end there, a familiar smile resurfaces in Gotham, meaning like we're definitely going to see Jerome, but we know he's in Arkham. So that means in that episode, we are definitely delving into Arkham, and I think that couldn't be in any other way than Penguin being admitted into Arkham. But at the beginning of the synopsis, it says that things get complicated for Gordon, Sophia, and Penguin when Carmine Falcone comes to town. So maybe when Falcone comes to town, and he's probably been thinking this whole time with, you know, his children, well, his children, Sophia running around, Jim running around, and then Penguin running around. He's probably coming to town just like, what? seriously, guys, I've left for like, I don't know, a season or so. I can't really remember right now. And this has all happened. Right, Penguin, get out my sight. Somehow, maybe his influence and power might literally force him into Arkham. He can probably pull those strings. Combined with Jim and Sophia as well. That I don't know. He might be telling off Jim and Sophia as well. He might want all of this to stop. He might just be tired of it. That is up to anyone's guess. But I've got a feeling when Carmine comes to town, he might put things to a halt. He might completely banish Penguin, because what you can't forget as well is that this is his daughter, and now things are getting very heated between Penguin and Sophia after the last episode. I'm pretty sure that he doesn't want his daughter caught in the crosshairs, regardless of if she is a Falcone and a gangster herself and wants to do this by herself and without her father, I don't know, smothering her. So when Penguin, one way or another, through what I've already talked about or another way, ends up in Arkham Asylum, it's pretty obvious that that's how he's going to interact with Jerome. Jerome might see it in his best interest to think, you know what, I might not like working with people. I want to be the center of attention, but you might be able to get me out of Arkham. We might be able to, combined with Penguin's wit and intelligence and Jerome's chaotic, anarchy sort of sense of, direction, that might be a recipe for disaster for anyone in Gotham. And that might be Penguin's and Jerome's way out of Arkham and, into the city to cause trouble in the second half of the season, which I'm sure we'll get a lot of press and trailers for coming over Christmas and January. Now, whilst editing this video, guys, I noticed one more thing about the video that Cameron Bicondova took of Penguin in the Arkham inmate clothing, is that his hair is different. So I do want to throw a possibility out there that this could be a flashback into Penguin's time of when he was in Arkham before. I thought some of you guys might have said this anyway, so I wanted to cover it whilst I could. It is possible that this is the case, but Gotham really doesn't do flashbacks that often, if at all. I think they've probably done one or two, but honestly, it's not a thing that usually happens, nor would I even really see the need for a flashback to Penguin's time in Arkham this season. Like, why would they need to do that? I can't think of any possible reason for that to happen. So what I would like to look at it as, in a lot of times in TV shows, they have, little subtle messages or different costumes or maybe even different hairstyles to put across meanings that aren't necessarily spoken, but to try and convey a different message through, I don't know, appearance. So for example, Oswald's hair changed in season 4 at the beginning. Obviously, it went from that streaks in his fringe, like we see in this actual video from Cameron, to more of a quiff that went backwards, and I feel like that it kind of symbolized his rise in the criminal underworld, and he took care of himself or in his image a bit more, whatever way you want to look at it at. But I feel like maybe he actually has gone back to this hairstyle because the Penguin has been kicked down to his roots, and that's the hairstyle he had when he was in the gutter in season 1, and even when he rose up in season 2, like even through all of that, he kind of still had this hairstyle. And in season 4, he was in the best position he ever has been in. So I guess it kind of makes sense in an artistic kind of way to put his hair back in the way it was before, if he does actually end up going to Arkham, which apparently seems to be the case. But I would love to hear your thoughts on Oswald's old hairstyle coming back in again, if you think it's a flashback or if you think he's actually just gone back to that hairstyle because he's kind of been kicked in the gutter, whether it be through Sophia Falcone, Jim, or actually Carmine Falcone. But let me know what you think of this news in the comment section down below. Let me hear all your theories about what you think Jerome and Penguin are going to get up to, how you think they're going to get out of Arkham, and everything like that. I have to admit, when I first saw this, I wasn't so happy about Penguin going to Arkham again because he's already been in there. But at the same time, with further thought, it makes sense how he can meet Jerome in there, how they can sort of break out together and cause a lot of chaos. So it's okay in my books. In other news, guys, in an update to the Jerome picture that we saw the other day, when he was walking between sets, it does turn out that his hair definitely is short, because this is a photo of Cameron Monaghan, I believe 5 days ago. I just want to thank Camilla, I believe, on Twitter for sending me this image. I mean, it's not huge news. I thought that he would have short back and sides as well, and it's not a dramatic change. This is just an update to that. Jerome will be having quite short shaven sides and kind of a bit of a shorter hair on top, and it kind of reminds me of one of the New 52 Jokers. Not exactly like the Jared Leto kind of in inspired theme that he got from the comics, because his hair is a bit longer than what Jerome will have his on top. But it seems like this is what he will be looking like in Gotham Season 4 with his arc. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this little update and theory video, let me know by leaving a like on this video, as it really does show your support for the channel. And maybe if you're new to this channel, maybe even consider subscribing, and be sure to turn that notification bell button on to make sure you never miss out on a single Gotham video. But apart from that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.